Now, you'll see right here, minimum DB, max cash value, balance DB, and then protection focus. If you think about your monthly payment that you're going to pay into this, think about it as a pendulum, okay? And so some people call me up and they say, hey, I want some life insurance, and they just want to grow a little bit of cash value on the side, right? And so that would be a protection focus where about 75% of your payment will go to the cost of insurance of the death benefit. It goes to the living benefits, and about 25% of it goes to the cash value. Here on the balance DB, that would be about 50% death benefit, 50% cash value of your payment, okay? Right here, this is where people are more focused on cash value, tax-free cash value for retirement. And they do want some death benefit and they want some living benefits to help protect them, but they're more focused on growing their cash value for retirement. Which one of these do you think that you would want to focus on the most?
Cash value for retirement, because I don't care what happens after I'm dead.
Okay. And I thought that's what you were going to say, but we're building this for your benefit. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and you want to pay monthly, correct? Not annually?
Sure.
Okay. And then we're going to specify an amount, and we're going to pay $1,500, and we can change this too. Nothing is set in stone. This is just an illustration. Okay. And we're going to pay until you retire. And then after that, you don't have to pay anymore. Okay. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to hit this button, and it's going to turn blank for a second after I get the pop-up blocker off. And then it's going to run a report. And then I'll go through the report for you. Okay. So the name of this company is called National Life Group. They've been around for 175 years, longer than you and I and your parents have been alive altogether. So they know what they're doing, right? What this illustration addresses is three things, Gentry. What if you die too soon? What if you become ill? Excuse me. And what most retirees question is when they get close to retirement is, what if I outlive my money? Right? That's the big thing. And so this is going to help you with all three of those. So based off of the $1,500 a month payment, if you died the next day, your beneficiary would get $853,000. Based off of that, here's the cash value you would accumulate, and I'll go into detail on that here in a minute. Now, here's the cool part about NLG. They have 5 riders with their IULs. Most companies don't. The younger you are, the lower the benefit. The older you are, the higher the benefit. Okay. So this is based off of just a projection of 65 years old. If you become terminally ill at 65, the doctor says you're gonna die in 24 months or less, not 12, but they give you 2 years, then you're going to get a lump sum of almost $750,000. If you become chronically ill, the doctor says you can't perform 2 of the 6 daily living activities for 3 months or more. That means bathing, toileting, dressing, eating, transferring, which is walking, getting in and out of bed, medicating yourself. If you can't perform just 2 of those, you can pull $13,000 a month to sustain some income. Critical illness. If the doctor says you have cancer, or if you had a heart attack or a stroke, kidney damage, liver damage, Huntington's disease, ALS, you can get a lump sum of $691. Critical injury, that would be like a brain injury, or maybe you were burnt in fire really bad. That's a lump sum. If you get Alzheimer's, now NLG is the only carrier I know of that has an Alzheimer's rider in this that is free. It doesn't cost anything extra. And Alzheimer's is a big deal. They're calling it type 3 diabetes. My mother-in-law has Alzheimer's right now, and she lives with us. And it's like Groundhog's Day every day at my house.
Yeah.
And so if you were diagnosed with Alzheimer's, you get a lump sum of 661. Okay. So that kind of describes that. Now down here, it'll describe it a little bit more in a different type of a chart. Okay. So you can see terminal illness. And then these are your benefits depending on the age, right? If you're 62, you'd get a $12,000 benefit if you have a chronic illness, 72, 15, and 85, 30,000 a month, right? And it just grows. Alzheimer's at 62, you'd get 634. It's based off of how long you have the policy for. If you're 55, you still get a death benefit, or I'm sorry, you still get a benefit. It's just not going to be as much, right? Critical illness and critical injury, this is based off of the impact of your life expectancy, right? So if you're 62 and you have a heart attack, and you're going to live, they don't even crack your chest. They go in there, put a stent in, and you're probably going to live another 100 years. You might not even get a benefit, right? And you may not even want to pull a benefit. But if you have a heart attack and they crack your chest and they got to do a valve replacement, and they think that you're going to die in 5 to 10 years, you may get somewhere in between this money right here. Okay. You may be able to pull somewhere in between there to help sustain some cash. Okay. Whoops. Does that make sense? Any questions so far?
I just have one question. So, like, say at age 62, you get this chronic illness, 11,917. Do you have to pay income tax on that every month?
No, ma'am. This is a life insurance policy. There is no taxes on life insurance policies.
Okay.
Okay. Now there could be a taxable event, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. So you just remember to ask me if I don't talk about it. Okay, so let's scroll down here. I'm going to talk about the indexes real quick. This is all the jargon about your riders, that kind of thing. So here, right here, this is the US point-to-point growth rate. Okay, this is one of the indexes, and this is our favorite index that we like to use for our clients. And I'm going to explain why. So this right here in the gray, can you see that, Gentry?
Yeah.
Okay. This right here in the gray is real numbers of what happened. This is a 20-year look back all the way to 2004. This right here in this column would have been, if you had this IUL in 2004, this is how much money you would have had deposited into your account. Okay. Now, the reason why we like this is because with this index, it's a point-to-point.
Is that when you say that much money deposited into your account, like 2010, that 33%, is that like your rate of return?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
you're correct. Yep. So right here, the reason why we like this index is because it's point-to-point and there's no cap. Now, meaning that like Mutual of Omaha, you probably heard of that carrier. We work with those guys too. They have an IUL that has a 9.25% cap. So if the market does 12%, you get 9.25, right? That's what a cap means. This also has a participation rate of 235%. Okay.
So if they cap you at 9%, what do they do with the rest of the interest that's earned on your money?
So this right here, there's no cap.
But I'm saying Mutual of Omaha, if they cap you at 9% and the market earns 12%, what happens to that extra interest that was earned on my money? Just hypothetically.
Well, I don't know.
They keep it?
I don't really care because I don't write IULs with them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the real answer is they keep that, right?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. And that IUL is easier to qualify for just because, you're not getting a lot of money on your return, and that's built for other reasons. But this right here is a 235% participation rate. Let me explain that. This answers the question of how much of my accumulated cash value participates in this percentage rate right here. And so I like to call it a supercharger. right? Because if you just multiply 12.67 times 235, this is how your rate of return. So it supercharges the interest rate. Okay. So,
Okay, wait, say that again.
so it's like a supercharger. It answers the question of how much of, it's called a participation rate. It answers the
Okay.
question of how much of my money, my accumulated value, my cash value is participating in this interest rate right here.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting thing to think of.
Yeah. So the reason why they have this is because it allows NLG to control the interest, right?
Mhm.
And so what happens is now they can control this, but I've never seen it go down. In fact, in December of 2023, just what, 6 months ago, this was at 225%. They just raised it to 235.
Okay.
Okay. So this basically shows you that, you know, in 2004, you'd have had almost 30% deposited. In 2006, when the market did 7%, you would have had 16.75 deposited, right? 2008, the market dropped, you get zero. Zero is your hero. You don't lose any money. You keep everything that you got. You know, right here, 2016, the market did 3%, you'd have gotten 7.58. 2017, you would have gotten almost 30%. 2018 didn't do so well, but you still would have got 2%. Here's 2022, where people lost money 15 to 20%.
Mhm.
You would have gotten zero.
Now, what is that column to the left that you pointed to with
This
the
one?
negative 60%? What is that column representing?
This is the real numbers. This is what happened.
Okay.
This is a 20-year look back.
Okay.
Okay. So this right here is really what you need to look at. Now, IULs aren't made to outperform the market, right? They're made to be safe. And the cool part about it is you don't get taxed on the loans that you take out. Okay. So this is a 5-year average for this particular index. So if you look, it did 2.8. If you look back 5 years, the average was 14.19% deposited into your account. And there's still a 0 and a 2 in there, right? Here, it did 3.8, the average 12.6. And then 15-year look back and a 20-year look back, it averaged 5 and 5.5, which yielded you about 14 to 15% in the market. Okay. Now, currently, the market is doing 6.44%. And we're going to talk about that, and I'll show you the illustration based off of this number right here. Now, keep in mind, this number right here does not take into the account of the participation rate that I just showed you for this index. Okay, it only takes into the account of the actual percentage of what the index is doing right now. So I'll show you that down here. Any questions on this though, by the way?
Not yet.
Okay. If you do, let me know. So we'll come down here and I'll show you. Okay. So this right here is guaranteed illustrated values. We're going to spend a little time here. And then down here is alternative current illustrated values. We're going to spend a little time here. And then this is your current illustrated values at 6.44%, which is where we're going to spend most of our time. Okay. So let me go back up here and touch base. This is guaranteed illustrated values. This is what happens if the market tanks over the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Okay. Now this is Armageddon. This is worst case scenario, Gentry. My mom and dad always told me that, look, if you have to make a decision, just think of what's worst case scenario. And if you can live with it, go ahead and do it. Right. So right here, this is your accumulated value column. This is the amount of money that you've accumulated in cash value over time.
Hang on a second.
Sure.
Respiratory. Okay, thanks. Bye. I'm getting called to the ER. Okay, let me see if Nah, there's nobody else that can do this. I'm sorry, I have to go to the ER.
Okay.
This will take me like probably 5 minutes. Can I call you back, or do you need to go with somebody else?
Nope, I got this time scheduled for you. So yeah, give me a call back at this number. This is my cell phone.
Okay, sorry, I just gotta go run this one test and then I'll be right back.
No problem. No problem. I'll wait for you.
Thanks, Shawn.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. If you guys want to ask some questions, go ahead and do it now while she's not on. Oh, wait. I can't hear you. Okay, now I can. Did you guys say something?
Yes. Are you, so you talked about the 20-year look back, the first two columns. Do you ever touch base to the other two columns to the right?
No, because she had to go. I haven't got there yet.
Okay, you go back to that one. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going back to that. And then we're going to go back down here too. So yeah, we're going to go through all of that. She's a respiratory therapist in a small town in western Nebraska. And she has 3 patients in the whole hospital. and no, none of them are respiratory patients. But I guess one just got called to the ER, so that's why she had to go. So yeah. So she'll call back and then we'll just continue on so you guys can kind of hang out or do whatever you want. So this is right. I don't know if you can, let me see if I can share this. So this is crank wheel. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
So I can see what she sees on her screen. So whenever I want her to take a look at something, if she's on a cell phone, it's only going to light up half the screen.
Mm-hmm.
You got too many windows open here. So yeah, whenever you do it, you just click on full screen and then a share will pop up right here. And then she will be able to, her screen will pop up right here. You'll be able to see everything that she sees. It's super cool. All you're doing is sharing the link.
Right.
Where are we at? Right here. Okay.
So Shawn, this the Flex Life?
Yeah, this is Flex Life. Yeah. And
it-
NLG is smart too, Balraj. You know
sorry,
that, right?
Sorry, can you say it again?
NLG is in New York as well.
Yeah. And the after the retirement, the income was shown already in the illustration. Like
I
if you
didn't
scroll down, okay.
run it as income, but I can run it as income.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, let me do that right now. So right here in income, there's none. So distribution would be how much you're going to distribute. There's none. So if I solve for income, it's going to automatically generate, and you'll see at age 66, it's going to generate income to maturity. Maturity is at 121 years old. Okay, at 121, it's done. But she's not going to live that long anyways. Only one person in the so far. So what I usually do is if they want to see income, and I'll do that here in a minute, is I'll ask her what is, and I actually forgot to ask her. Normally I do. What is the oldest person that has ever lived in her family? Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. And she'll say, I don't know, 88, 90. And I'll just say, okay, well, I'm just going to show you all the way to age 95. Right. And so it's going to show an income all the way to age 95.
Hmm.
And then what we're going to do is put this on annual. So it shows her a yearly income. Okay. Then I'll rerun the report. And everything's going to be the same on the illustration. The only is the illustration that I ran. The only difference is that it's going to show income at age 66 now. We get stuck here. I think it got stuck. Let's do it too. Here we go. So right here,
Yeah.
here's the income that she would get every year. 41,000. Tax free. This is guaranteed. So worst case scenario, the market tanks for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, she's still getting 41,000. Down here, this is the current illustrated value. I'm sorry, the alternative illustrated value. And then this one is the current illustrated value. This is the one that's based off of today's market. I'm going to stop this so she can't see me going up and down. So if we look right here, yeah, so 41,000. She's still getting 41,000.
Yeah.
So at age 65, she stops paying. She's got 342,000 into it. At age 65, she has 489,000 of cash value. And now she's going to start taking 41,000 a year tax free. By the time she's 76, she's already got over almost a $500,000 taken out. She still has 326,000 in there. By the time she's 96, she would have pulled out 1.2 million. She still has 85 million or 85,000. And then it just keeps growing because she's not taken out anymore. But if she lives to 121, she's going to have 4 million in there to pull out, to leave behind. Did I go too fast?
And what is the alternate current? Why did it lapse at this
Where?
one, the middle one? It lapses
So-
at 72.
Because yeah. So so this would last until age 73. So she'd be able to pull out 41,000 until age 73. Because what happens is it's only growing at 3%.
Okay.
And so about 41,000 a month and she stopped paying into it. And so she would have she'd probably have more than what, 342,000, minus 160 or 123,000. So that would be She'd have about 360,000 pulled out of it by the time it lapses.
Mhm.
That's at the
Okay.
market 3%.
Okay, but it's not gonna happen like that because the average is 6.25 something.
So the average is 6.44.
Mhm.
And then, yeah. And then this is the illustrated. Okay. So,
Yeah.
you know, as she pays into it, by the time she's 56, if she decided, you know what, I want to take some money out. I want to put $50,000 down on a house. So when I go through this, I kind of tell stories and let them know how they can use it. Right. And the reason why is because they don't know how they can use it. They're just thinking, well, I can use it for retirement. Well, what happens if, you know, I want to go invest in a house? And, you know, now I'm 56 years old. You know what? I want to go buy a rental property and fix it up. Let's say the house is worth 150,000 and the house, she can buy it for 50 grand, put 50 grand into it. She can pull out 100 grand out of her IUL, go buy the house, fix it up, put a tenant in there, rent it out for $1,500 a month. She's got cash flow. Now the house can go up, appreciate in value, and somebody else can pay down that mortgage. And then she can go refinance the house based off today's market. Once she gets a tenant in there, and then they'll give her the money back and she can go pay back her IUL. That's called infinite banking. That's called being your own bank. So that's why these are powerful. And if she dies along the way, she's in the middle of something and she dies, her beneficiary is going to get 853,000 minus what's taken out of the surrender
Mhm.
cash value.
Okay.
Shawn, I have a question regarding surrender value and then the net death benefit. So in this case, let's just go to policy year 10. So it's 171 cash value and then the 853 death benefit. So is it both combined or is it only cash value? That's the most she could borrow.
Great question.
It's not going to be
So-
both values combined.
Depends. So right here, we're doing death benefit option. Level means that the death benefit is going to be the same. In this case, it's never going to go up. They're going to give her the minimum death benefit according to her payment that she's making. Okay. But it's never going to go up. It's never going to go down. Now, once it comes down here, if she didn't take out any cash value, this death benefit would have to go up. You can see right here, it's going up. Oh, no, it's going down, actually. Oh, it went to voicemail. She's calling back. I'll explain that to you here in a minute. Real quick, I'll show you. If you change this to increasing, it's going to lower the death benefit, but the death benefit's going to go up every year. At 65, she has to call and remember to call to tell them to change it to level. But in that case, they would get both. But here, this cash value is already included in the death benefit. Okay?
So at level, it is only the death benefit that they get. And if they do increasing, that's when they get cash value plus the death benefit, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, she's wanting me to call her back here. I guess she called me and it went straight to voicemail because I have my ringer turned off. Okay, mute out, guys.
Hi, Shawn. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, you're at work. You got sick people to deal with. That's more important. Were you able to click on the link again so you could see the screen, Jensen?
It says waiting for the presenter to start sharing their screen.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna close it and click it again. It says meeting is connecting. Yeah. But wait, it says want crank wheel for free.
Oh,
What was that?
Crank Wheel is the program I'm using to send you that link. I'm not getting a notification. Let me just send you a new notification.
Maybe that one aged out or something.
Yeah, maybe. Send you another one. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. It's hard to like try to get your life together on the down low, you know. Um,
No worries.
yeah, he grills me about what, like, pretty much like what I do every minute of the day. And
Your
you know, who'd
boyfriend?
you talk to? Yeah, who'd you talk to? Who'd you see? You know, and he tries to make this real lighthearted thing. And like, this is so exciting to me. I want to share it, but I know better. So I was just like, oh, you know, it was a pretty quiet day. Didn't really do nothing.
Ah, I see.
But luckily, he doesn't have access to the call logs on the cell phones, or he'd be like, who did you talk to in Omaha for an hour?
Really?
Yeah.
I'm starting to like be afraid for you.
A lot of people are like, he barbecued on like a Sunday night, and then he leaves for work Monday night, and he's gone 4 days. So like, I'm by myself, so I don't necessarily like run the dishwasher because it's not full or anything.
Uh-huh.
But when he came back on Friday night, he got all like inquisitive and accusatory about where the grill spatula, why was it still in the dishwasher, and was I grilling for someone else? And I'm like, that's the dirty one that you used. Haven't ran the dishwasher because I don't eat when you're not here.
Wow.
That kind of shit. Anyway, continue.
Sounds like an unsecure guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's very good.
So we left off on the guaranteed illustrated.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So the reason why it's guaranteed is because, again, this is Armageddon. This is the worst case scenario, right? So I'm going to explain these three columns. This one over here, the net death benefit, that one is pretty self-explanatory. If you die, your beneficiary gets the $853,000 minus any loans been taken out. Okay. This is your accumulated value of cash that you're accumulating. Okay. This is your cash surrender value. Now, this is the column of how much loan you have left to borrow from. Now, you're going to notice that this column doesn't even out till about year 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why?
I don't know. Probably they might gain some kind of equity in their account or something.
So you know how if you were to go buy a term life insurance policy, you're just paying for the cost of insurance, right? You're paying for that monthly premium is the cost that if you die, your beneficiary gets a death benefit. If you you get hurt, sick, or injured, it goes to that cost, right? So that's called the cost of insurance. And so what insurance companies do is they front load that cost of insurance within the first 10 years, and it's called a surrender value. Because but you still have cash, obviously. Because if you decide that, you know what, I don't want the policy in year 3, then they're not losing money. And they're still able to give you 19,000 back, right? And this is still based off the guaranteed illustrated value. So we always tell our clients that for the first 5 to 10 years, you're doing this for your family. And then after that, you're going to compound interest so much that you're doing it for yourself and for your retirement. So this is just the guaranteed illustrated value. Again, this is if the market did horrible over the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But I can tell you this, the most the market has ever been down since the United States has been a country is 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But I still have to show you this. Okay. All right. So now we're at the alternative. So the state of Nebraska says, you know what? you need to show her an alternative interest rate that if the market didn't do as planned, what would happen? So they're showing you right here at 3%. So after 10 years, you still got 180,000 into it. And now you got 142 of cash value after 10 years. Same death benefit. Okay. And this is if the market did exactly 3% every single year. And we do know two things. One, the market doesn't do the same thing every single year. Number two, it will go up and it will go down. Right?
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to spend most of our time right here. This is current illustrated values. Okay. Right here, same thing, cash surrender value. After 10 years, you got 180,000 into this. Now you have 171,000 of cash value that you can borrow from. So if you take 180,000 minus 171,000, that's about $9,000 that you really only have into this. And so for for $853,000 death benefit, you've only paid 9,000 so far. That's 10 years into it. And as you can see, as it grows, now it's pretty much free. Now, here's the cool part. You've heard of the be your own bank and the infinite banking policy. You've heard of all of that jargon on Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, I've heard the words.
Okay, so that's kind of where this comes in. So let's say you're 56 years old, right here, Gentry, and you got 171,000 in cash value. Now, keep in mind, chances are this will be more, but we're going to say that it's not, right? Because this is based off of 6.44, and it doesn't include the participation rates. So let's say you got 171 and you're like, you know what? There's a house in town that I wouldn't mind, buying and fixing it up and flipping it and maybe turning it into a rental. And let's say this house is worth 150,000 and you can buy it for 50 grand. It takes maybe 50 grand to fix it up. That's 100 grand all in. So where are you going to get the money? Well, you can go to the bank and borrow the money. They're going to ask you 15,000 questions and check your credit, of course. Or you can borrow from yourself and be your own bank. You pull out 100 grand, you take that money, go buy the property, fix it up. Then you go to the bank and refinance it. And they're going to give you usually about 70% loan to value. If that property is worth 150,000, you got more money back than you have borrowed. And so you take that money and just pay back your IUL. And now you got more money to borrow from later on down the road, right? So that's kind of where that concept comes from of infinite banking or be your own bank. So let's kind of take this a little bit further here. Now you're 65 years old. You've been paying in for 19 years. By the way, a regular term policy, you're going to pay in for 20, 25, 30 years, and then it usually ends after that. And if you didn't die, you usually don't get any money back, right? So here at age, are you still there? You still following me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
All right. So here, I don't know if you can see that. Let me scroll up a little bit here. Here, after 19 years, you got, this is your last year you're going to pay in at 65. You'll have 342,000 into it. Okay. Now at 65, you're going to have 400, almost $500,000 in cash value. But notice it's going to start going down. You know why?
No.
Because you're taking $41,341 of tax-free income every single year from now on. You're not paying in anymore. You're taking $41,000 a year in tax-free income. And you can see, by the time you're 65 or 76, you'll have taken almost $500,000 out in tax-free income. Here, you still have 326,000 left. Now, let's do a small calculation. This is tax-free income, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a calculator on you?
Yeah, so at age 65, $41,000 is like $5, so I can live under a bridge at age 65,
Well,
if bridges still exist.
well, hold on a second there, Turbo. Let's take that 41,300. Well, let's do it this way. You see the 454,751?
No, where's that?
Oh, I wonder you can't see it. I was a little bit too low for you on your screen. Right here.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that is how much you would have generated by taking 41,000 every single month. And still you only have 342,000 into it, right? So let's scroll down here. By the time you're 95, and I just plugged in 95 because most people don't live to 95. I can show
I'm
you.
not living that long.
Yeah, most people don't. But if you do live to 95, you would have taken 1.2 million and 342,000 left. You still only have into it, tax free, right? So
Mhm.
check this out. If you were to collect by the time you're 76, which you'll probably live to 76, most people do. But take your calculator and take 454,751 and multiply that times 1.3.
Okay, $591,176.
So if you had a 401k, you would have to generate $591,000 in order to accumulate $454,000 of cash, because you're going to pay taxes on that difference.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
yeah. So you'd have to pay taxes on the 591 to be
Yes.
able to net your 454.
After taxes, you would net 454, correct?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. A lot of numbers on these pages.
Yeah, now you understand why I wanted you to be on a computer.
Yeah.
So that's that. Now, do you want me to show you another illustration that doesn't have a yearly income, that just generates and accumulates cash value, and you can pull it out anytime you want to? Or do you want me to show you an illustration where it,
I don't know. Like, it's all really confusing to me. Like, I don't. Why does it have an illustrated loan rate of 5.5%? Is that like the worst case scenario, or what is this?
so when you take out a loan, okay, great question. Remember earlier I said, I'm going to talk about a taxable event,
Okay.
and I said, remind me of it. So when you take out a loan, the government can't tax you on a loan. In order for it to be called a loan, they have to charge you an interest rate. If you take a withdrawal and just pull money out without it being a loan, that's a taxable event, because now you're just pulling money out. The cool part about it is you don't have to pay it back. You can if you want to. You don't have to. When you pull a loan out, they're going to charge you 5.5%, because that's the illustrated or the loan rate right now, which is a heck of a lot cheaper. What's that?
Who's charging me? The government or
The carrier.
Right.
This is yours, not the government's. This is the carrier that you're applying through for. This is a life insurance policy, so you own it.
Now there is like a quote unquote like fee for taking your money out. They're gonna take 5% of whatever you withdraw.
They have to.
Right.
Otherwise, it's not a loan. And it's either now think about it this way. For
I'm
one,
so confused. So why is it a loan? I thought I was like retiring and gonna die, and now it's a loan?
When you take out money out of here, there's two ways to take it out. You can take it out in a withdrawal, three ways. You can take it out in a withdrawal, and that is just saying, you know what, I want to take money back and I have no intentions of paying it back. And that's a taxable event. You can take it out in a and quit the policy and surrender cash value. You can just take out and say, you know what, I'm 76. I'm going to pull all 326,000 out of there in a withdrawal and surrender the policy, and I'm done with it. And that's a taxable event. They're going to tax you on your gains. When you pull it out,
tax me on the 326,000.
if you take it out and surrender the policy. If you take it out in a loan, that's the reason why people are attracted to this. Because when you take it out in a loan, they charge you the $550, and that comes off the death benefit in the end. Okay, so in the end, right here, let's say it's 76. Are you still with me? Can you see that where I'm highlighting? You're 76. You see that?
Yeah, so this is where you're trying to, you're taking a loan against a life insurance policy, like
Yes.
for terms, so that your like rate or your fee or whatever is lower.
So check this out. When you take out a loan, every time you get a loan and you pull out $41,341 a year, this is a loan. Now, do you have to pay it back? No, you don't have to pay it back. That's why IULs are so attractive. But because it's called a loan and they're going to charge you the 5.5% interest, the IRS can't tax you. Now, where does that fee come from? Right here. So you're borrowing.
Where are you pointing to?
On the right side. On the death benefit.
So they take it out at the end when I'm dead.
So yeah, so they take it out of the death benefit. But here's the other caveat of that. That's the reason why you're compounding interest on this number right here. Because they're not recognizing. I'm sorry?
What is that number?
This is your accumulated cash value. This interest rate right here is being compounded on this number. This number, as you can see, never goes down. This is the amount of cash value you've had. The amount of money that you've paid into it times these interest rates becomes this number right here. This is the amount right here that you can borrow from. But notice that this number, okay, do this math right here, Gentry. 340,000. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, 340,000.
Yeah. Now look, the next year you've taken out 41,341. So take 340, 153 minus 41,341.
Okay, 298, 812.
Yeah, but look, there's 326,000 left, not 298. Why?
Well, because you're compounding at that 6.5 on their 962, right?
Yes, now you're getting it. So because you're taking loans out from your death benefit, that's why it's going down. You can.
Oh, okay. So you're loaning against the death benefit, not your full accumulated value.
Yes. So you're borrowing money from the insurance company, not your accumulated value.
Not yourself, technically.
Yes.
The IRS looks at it.
Yes. So that's why.
Okay.
That's why it doesn't recognize a loan being taken out and that's why you're accumulating. I mean, look at these numbers right here. There's 41,000 coming out every single year, but look at this 205 minus 189. That's 15 grand. That does not equal 41 grand. You're compounding so much that it doesn't have a choice but to build, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so even though you're not paying anything in at this time anymore, you're actually taking money out. And you're not paying anything in. And so even though you're taking money out and not paying into it, How does the money grow? Well, it's compounding off of the accumulated value. Doesn't matter how much loan value is left in there. Pretty cool, huh? And when you take it out in loans, it's tax-free. Now you don't have to pay it back. Now, here's my rule of thumb. This is how I coach my clients. Let's go back up here. Let's say you're 56. We'll just go back to this number. You're 56. And you want to take out that $100,000 to buy your house. Okay. You're only 56. I would pay it back. Use it as your own bank. You're only paying 5.5% interest. If you go to a bank, how much are interest rates at banks right now? 8, 9%. On top of that, you're compounding interest on this. So you're making more money, even though this part of this money is gone, because you're compounding more than you're paying on an interest. Now, if you're down here and you're 69 years old and you want to pull out 100 grand over here on top of this 40 grand, you can do that. And you can choose, maybe I don't want to pay it back because you're 69.
When you don't pay it back, that's your taxable event.
No.
Right?
Well, if you take it out as a withdrawal, it will be a taxable event. But
Well, I thought it's a taxable event if you withdraw it with no intention of paying it back. So you just
No.
lie and say that.
let me disclose that. So you can
I'm
have
so
no,
fucking confused.
no. We're going to get this confusion out of the way. You can have no intention to pay it back and still take it out as a loan. That's what these are built for. That's what all of this is.
A loan if you don't pay it back. Like you're supposed to pay back a loan.
Well, you're supposed to, but you don't have to with these. And so
how do they not like hold you liable for not paying back a loan?
because this is your money, they by law have to loan you the money. It's your money.
So I'm lost in where is it not a taxable event?
Because you're taking it out as a loan. There's no loan. When you take out a loan and on your house, do you get taxed on it?
Hell yeah.
You don't get taxed on your loan for your house. You write it off on taxes.
Oh, but it doesn't count for shit after Trump messed with all that stuff. Like
You get to write off every single loan that you've ever taken out. You get to write off your car loan. You get to write off your house loan. You get to write off every loan. They can't charge you. They can't tax you on it because it's not income. It's not income. You have to pay it back, right? With this, you don't have to pay it back. That's why they're built this way. That's why the rich have been using these for years to grow their money tax-free, because you can pull it out in a form of a loan and it's not a taxable event because it's a loan. Why is it a loan? Because they charge you an interest rate. Well, when do you pay it back? Well, you have to pay it back. You're right. But do you have to pay it back while you're still alive? No, you can pay it back when you're dead.
okay.
And it comes off the death benefit. So that's when you pay it back.
Okay.
So, and this is already calculated in here. So at 66 years old, if you took out 41,000 and then died the next day, your beneficiary would get 810,000. Because that's the 853 minus the 41,341 times the interest rate.
Okay. I guess this is like way over my head.
Well, think about it. I mean, if you have questions, let me know, because I want to make sure you understand. But that's the reason why these are so attractive to. I have a guy that I have an appointment with tonight. He's a billionaire in California, lives in Beverly Hills, and he owns one of the largest trading platforms on the earth. and he's got money overseas. And he wants to put $500,000 a quarter in one of these so that he can leave, so that he can shelter some of that tax money.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, good for him.
right. That's what I'm saying. Good for him.
Does he want
So-
a sugar baby? Is he looking for like?
So that's kind of the way it is. I mean, it's really
Yes.
not that hard to. Go
Like, what
ahead.
I'm getting hung up on is like the plan annual income of $41,000. Like, that ain't shit. Like, I don't like. That's what's hanging me up in this whole spreadsheet. Like, I understand the point that you're making, but my mind keeps going to, oh, yay, work my whole life off to live on 41,000 a year. Like,
Okay, so take 41,341 times
mhm.
1.3.
Hang on, I don't even have my calculator open. That was at, oh, I got 53.74. Did I do that right?
Yeah, so if you do 53.74 or whatever that is,
Mhm.
53,000, and then multiply that times what, 30 years? What does that equal?
I think if I did it right, it's like 1.6 million.
Yeah. So look right here. You'd have to have 1.6 million in a 401k to sustain you 41,000 a year until you're 95.
But $41,000 is not enough money to live on.
So, I mean, I understand. I mean, maybe not for you, but these are also
Well, it's
meant
not
to.
for anybody. Like, nobody can even afford groceries on that. Like, I can't. Like, that's like a stupidly low amount of money.
So this is actually
So
meant.
is this like an actual projection, or is this just a scenario
It's
for
just
like,
a scenario. Yeah, remember, this is just an illustration. This is based
Okay,
off
so
of what the
we're
market's
going to
doing right
get
now.
clear about that, because you were losing me on the $41,000. I'm like, fuck this. I don't want to do this if all I'm going to live on is $41,000 if I've worked my ass off.
Well, that's why I
for
explained to you
7
right
years.
here. You know, this is based off the market doing exactly 6.44% every single
So
year.
in the world, you need to make these things different colors. Like, okay, so this is like, they're all green. So like, okay, so this is the we're pretending that you're only going to get a rate of return of like 6.44 on
Yeah.
this for like the next 40 years or whatever, if I live to 95.
Right. So look at
Is
this.
what we're pretending.
Yeah. So Gentry, think about this. This company's been around for 175 years. Do you think that they're going to illustrate this at a high rate or a low rate?
I don't have any idea.
Well, if they illustrate it at a high rate and they get you all excited about the numbers, and then all of a sudden the market's not doing exactly what they project it's going to do, and all of a sudden in 5 years, your money is growing a lot lower than the illustration, what are you going to do? You're going to surrender your
pull out.
policy and pull it all out, right?
Yeah.
So they're probably going to show you, well, not probably, I know, but they're going to show you something that's underperforming, and then they're going to over deliver. Now, here's the other thing. Remember, this is based off of the interest rate, right? Up here in this index, this one has a participation rate. It doesn't take into account the participation rate.
Okay, so that one at the 6.4 is like worst case scenario, like you said.
Yeah,
Under promise, over deliver.
exactly. So when I talk about this 41,000, I mean, keep in mind, this is not meant to outperform the market. But here's the deal. Remember the demonstration I showed you of 100,000 in a 401k, 100,000 in an IUL? And there's an $11,000 difference from the market doing the same thing and you not losing money in an IUL.
Right.
right? Here, you're never, ever gonna lose money. It's always gonna go up. Right? It also protects you if you get hurt, sick, or injured. And it leaves money behind for your loved ones if something happens to you. Right?
I don't have any loved ones, so I don't really care about that part. My family is all gone, so
Mom, dad is all gone?
yeah, everybody's dead. Well, I mean, my parents are alive, but I don't have anything to do with them. They don't have anything to do with me, so I haven't talked to them in like forever. And nobody knows what happened to my son. They can't find him, so I don't have anybody to leave anything to. So I don't really care about those scenarios. I'm just trying to stay alive from and like find somewhere to put this money from the sale of my house that like you're saying, like I can pretend to be a billionaire and like do the infinite banking for myself to where I'm not going to get slammed with taxes using my own money.
Yeah.
I wish I was that billionaire. Why didn't I marry that guy that owned American Family Insurance? I have a chance.
So here's another scenario right here, right? Same illustration. The only difference is it doesn't show any income, right? Because the reality of it, let me get to that page here. The reality of it is you don't have to, I mean, again, this is just an illustration with projections on there. By the time you're 65, if you say, you know what, I don't want to take any income, I just want to let it grow, you can do that. So look right here, here's 76 right here. You got 342,000 in there. You got almost $1 million in cash value. By the time you're 86, still got 342,000 in there. You got 1.8 million in cash value. Same illustration, except for you're not taking any income. And so it just grows and grows and grows. And if you don't take any income, 120, you're gonna have 17 million. But obviously, you may not live that long. So right here, same thing, same scenario, $1,500 a month. And you're only paying till 65. You got 342,000 and over $500,000 in cash value by the time you're 66. So you can use this in different ways.
This is if you only do the 1,500 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so can you change this if you started out with 400,000?
Well, if you were to put 400,000 into this right away, that would give you, now I understand you want to put a ton of it, ton of that money in so you can, grow it tax free. What I would recommend that you do is not just do a lump sum, but maybe put in, a monthly, like put it in a bank and then put in a large amount monthly.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. And that's what I would do anyway, but.
And so if you were to put in, let's say you were to put in, let me do some math here.
Like, what if I did it at like $20,000 a month? Okay. Would they let me do that?
Well, yeah, they would let you do that. So 400,000, I'm going to calculate something here. 400,000 divided by 20,000 a month. That would be 20 months. Okay. So let's do this. 400,000 divided by,
is there a calculator thing on here like this that I can like play with for myself?
no, you have to be a licensed agent.
Oh, they don't give you like a pretend one for customers?
No, because customers don't know what they're doing most of the time.
Yeah, obviously that's why we're all poor.
So if you were to put in, let's see if we can do this. Put in 20 grand a month. It's going to kick me out. hold on, let me go back into your case here. Okay. When are you selling your house?
Sure.
Soon?
It's listed.
Okay. So let's say you were to put in 20 grand a month and pay for, how old are you right now? 47. So you pay for till age 50, 3 years. Let's see what that does. Run a report. Oh, pop-up blocker. Okay, so right down here, we'll go back down to the numbers here. Okay. That the guarantee, yep, that's guaranteed. So we need to go further. Okay, so here you go. You're paying in for 5 years. That's it. Well, for 4 years. Because you'll be 50. So yeah, you'd have 960,000 in there. Oh, did I put it on? Hold on a second. I put it on annual. $20,000 a month times 4 years. Yeah, so you only want to put 400,000 in there. We don't want to put 960,000 in there. Divide that by 48 months. About
Probably gonna be like 18 months, isn't it?
It'd be about 48 months would be 4 years. So you want to do 20 months or 20,000. But we can't do 20,000 for exactly 2 years because that would be over 400,000.
Probably gonna have to do a lower amount and spread it out longer, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out here. If we were to do 48 months, that's 4 years.
Let's see.
That's $8,333 a month. So we'll say 8,300 till age 50. Okay, run a report. Okay, go all the way down here. That's the indexes. It's guaranteed. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that's about 400,000 right here over the course of 4 years. And right away, within 10 years, you got $500,000 in cash value in there. $1.4 million death benefit. And you're pulling 75,000 a year tax free. You still have 851,000. And by the time you're 76, you got 821,000 tax free. And you still have over $500,000 in there. Okay. Or we can run it to show you what it would be with no income, and you just pull it out whenever you want to. Okay. Still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, by the time you're 65, you may have assets in other places. That's where most people do. I mean, some people still have a 401k, some people own real estate. I own a bunch of houses myself. So, I mean, you can use this to supplement a tax-free income and pull it out whenever you want to. That's guaranteed.
Mhm.
Okay. So like right here, same thing. And now it's just going to keep growing every single year. Whoops. But by the time you're 50, you only put in 400,000, right?
Mhm.
And right here, by the time you're 51, that's 5 years, you got 383,000 to borrow from. By the time you're 52, you already got your money back. And now it's just
Yeah.
going to compound and compound every single year. Okay. By the time you're 66, you got $1 million in there almost,
Mhm.
just from paying on this thing for 4 years. But here's the big kicker. Now take this number and multiply that by 1.3. That's the number that you would have to make to pay taxes, to generate 930,000 after taxes.
1.2 million.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you take 400,000 and divide that by 930,000, what's that number?
Divide 400,000 by 930,000.
Yeah,
0.43.
it's a 43% return on investment. You can't get that in stocks, bonds, mutual fund. You can't get that type of investment anywhere. But here's the best part of this. During the way, if you get hurt, you get sick, you get injured, right here, all the way back up here. Here we go. You have this money to rely on if you get hurt, sick, and injured.
Excuse me.
By the time you're 84, you got 2.9 million in there.
Mhm.
Any other questions?
No, I'm just wondering, like, how does this NLG group, how do they make their money? Like, aren't there a lot of like fees and stuff off the front end of this?
Now, remember we talked about the cost of insurance? Remember we talked about that?
I do, but I guess maybe I don't understand that.
So the cost of insurance is front loaded up front for the first 5 to 10 years. So that's why your accumulated cash value is lower. Because the cost of insurance, the cost of this big death benefit and your living benefits that give you help you sustain income if you can't go to work, or if you have a heart attack, you're laid up in the hospital, you can't make your mortgage payment, right?
Now, how hard are the hoops to jump through? Okay, so let's present that scenario. Let's say I get, well, I wouldn't, but like if I broke my other leg and I can't walk,
If you broke your leg and you can't walk,
and do they get like, and I can't work, do they consider that, you know, like disabled or critical illness to where like some of this benefit would help me out? Or
critical illness is your heart attack, stroke, kidney damage, liver damage, anything that's disabling, right? Chronic illness is your 2 of the daily 6 living activities. So you get in a bad car accident and you don't die, you live, but you're laid up in the hospital, and let's say it's real bad to where you broke both of your legs. I just talked to a guy yesterday when he was 17. I'll use his example. When he was he's 41 now, but when he was 17, he got in a bad car accident, broke both of his femurs, both of his shins, and both of his arms. And he was laid up in the hospital for about 8 months before he can go home. And in that kind of a condition, yeah, you're going to get part of the death benefit. Yeah, if you can't perform 2 of the daily living activities for 3 months or more, all it is a doctor's note, and the carrier will pay you. That's the whole purpose of these policies. It's first and foremost a life insurance policy, pays out to your beneficiary when you die, but it's meant to be used while you're alive. And that's what the living benefits are for, and that's what the cash value growth is for. Does that make sense?
So you just have to have a doctor's note that says you can't perform 2 of the 6 or 8 ADLs, and you can claim a portion of your benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I broke my leg and I couldn't walk or like do anything for 8 months. So I couldn't even bathe myself because I had to be totally non-weight bearing, and it sucked bad.
Okay. Well, that's 2 activities right there, you probably would have qualified for something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Traditionally, I don't do stupid stuff. So I'm looking for like real life scenarios where I would actually use it. Like, I'm not lucky enough to come from a family that dies early of heart attacks and live forever. Like, my grandmother lived to be 95. I probably won't, because my life has been considerably more stressful than hers ever was. But, you know, and I've been one of those people that I stay in extremely good health. So I'm going to be lucky enough to drop dead of a heart attack at work.
Sure. So the only thing we have left to do, Gentry, is to submit a request to the carrier to see if you can even get approved. Once you get approved, it takes about 2 to 6 weeks to find out if you get approved, because they have to go through underwriting, and they'll come back to us and ask some questions, and it just takes a little bit.
Okay.
But do you like the IUL?
I do. I need to watch those videos again with the explanation that you've given, and I think it'll make a lot more sense to me. Like, I'm just trying to see like how I can use it for my own benefit. You know, I don't really care about the billionaire or the people that are going to get cancer or whatever.
Sure.
So,
Well,
I
most
mean,
people,
yeah.
like that billionaire that I'm talking about, he's the same way. He just wants to be able to shelter his money tax free.
Yeah. So why hasn't the government changed the laws to where this is illegal or whatever? Is it all because it's like categorized under insurance?
It is. Yep. And you can Google it. It's legal. It's totally 100% legal. It's all under life insurance. And because it's taken out in a loan, they can't tax you.
Oh, and well, you know what? If this is a way for wealthy people, i.e., all the members of like the Senate, they're not ever going to want this changed because it would negatively affect them.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm going to climb in under their umbrella.
Yeah. Do you watch football at all?
No.
Okay.